My, the air smells fresh and clean, what a lovely day.
Never has there been a more pleasant month of May.
Weeds need a whacking, it's time to get cracking and greet the morning.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Now let's get into it. The Princess and the Pea is a 2002 animated musical fantasy film adaptation of the popular 1835 fairy tale The Princess and the Pea by Hans Christian Andersen. The film was directed by Mark Swan. It was released August 16, 2002 as an American-Hungarian production of feature films for families and Swan Productions. The scriptwriters were Forrest S. Baker and Ken Cromer. I remember growing up as a child, my father bought me this disc back in 2011 for Christmas, and I have to say I loved rewatching this movie over and over and over. I remember perfectly myself taking the box, opening the box, taking out the disc, putting it in the DVD, and sitting down, having some food, watching it over and over and over. So I decided in the big 2026 to go back and rewatch this movie, and I have to say, this movie is an underrated masterpiece, in my personal opinion. The reviews, we'll get onto the reviews, but in my personal opinion, this film is an underrated masterpiece. Now, number one, let's start with the story. The whole point of the story is a peasant girl, secretly the true princess, proves her nobility through the test of the pea and saves the kingdom from betrayal. That's basically the whole story. Let's talk about the animation. Number one, the animation in my opinion is pretty decent. It's not top tier Disney level, but it's pretty decent because obviously it's a small studio and the budgeting, if you're a small studio and you have a limited budget, obviously the animation is not going to be at the level you want it to be. But despite it being a small studio, the animation is actually decent. You can actually sit down and actually watch it from start to finish. One of my main problems of the animation is that there's no enough shading, kind of like your typical Disney movies. There's enough shading that contrasts with the colors, and sometimes certain parts of the film can feel a little bit gray in my opinion, but the animation is just decent. It's not perfect, but it's also not bad. You could really tell the amount of effort and love the animators actually put into this film, into turning the adaptation into an animated film. And it's actually pretty good, and I truly believe many reactors on YouTube should give this movie a watch, or you as an individual who are watching this video, you should definitely give this movie a watch because it's actually really good. And it's really solid, even though certain parts are janky, but overall the animation, it's pretty decent. Now let's talk about the music.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
As a child, I don't remember much of the music, but rewatching it in 2026, oh man, I gotta tell you, the music is really well done. Because from start to finish, from start where the villagers are singing joyfully and happily, to Prince Leia singing about how he's going to rule, to Daria singing how she feels like she's a princess, to Rollo singing on, oh, she's the one, she's perfect, and just all the way to the end. The songs in this movie are not cheesy. You could really tell the artist who gave their heart and soul into the music. They really gave their best. I mean, guys, just listen to this. I love it, man. I just love it, man. The songs is really good, and it did win some awards. I will get to the award at the end of the video. Now let's move on to the reviews. To be fair, if you look on the reviews online, it's currently sitting at a 6.4 on IMDb. And other reviewing websites, they gave it a 3.2 out of 5, which is pretty fair. It's pretty fair because, as I've stated in the beginning, that the animation, some parts it looks gray, some parts it looks janky, and also in the story when Prince Leia became king of Pig Town, it would have been interesting if they animated him in an office. He's like he's the regional governor, him taking responsibilities on what's going on, or him having a different attire. They just gave him the same attire from start to finish. It would have been interesting to see that. Or Prince Rolo's kingdom. It would have been interesting to see his parents. It would have been interesting to see if he had siblings, or if so, how. It would have also been interesting to see like the parents pressuring him to look for a wife. That's why he kept looking and looking and looking. And it would have also been interesting to see that him telling his parents that he actually fell in love with a peasant. And you know, back in those days, it was unacceptable. It was considered sacrilege. Royal member of the royal family marrying a peasant, that was seen as sacrilege. It would have also been interesting, but we got what we got, and the reviews are mixed. Some said the movie was boring and bland, it's a Disney wannabe, while others, they actually said this was actually impressive and this was actually well done. And I have to agree, this movie was well done. And despite it having its flaws, like all movies have flaws, despite it having flaws, I truly believe that this movie deserves the love and attention that other films deserve. All the love and attention, you know, like other films are getting all the love and attention that you're seeing reactors react to it. I truly believe that this film deserves to be reacted, deserves to be seen, deserves to be put up there, you know. Now let's move on to the verdict. I personally would give this movie a 7 out of 10, you know, because the story is actually entertaining, the music is so good, and it's not cheesy, it's not predictable, it's not meh, you know. The songs are the songs, in my personal opinion, and some might feel this way, it's actually really good and really solid. So the film won 2 accolade competition awards of excellence in 2003 and 2004. That is actually pretty impressive. Keep in mind, this was made by a small studio company, but it managed to win awards in 2003 and in 2004 for the musical score by composer Alan Williams. The film was also nominated for a Young Artist Award in 2003. Can you imagine it being nominated? That's to say, you don't need to be a big studio company in order to create a masterpiece. Whether you're big, mid, or small, as long as you have the creative, love, passion, and a good team, then you can create anything. You can create anything. Take DreamWorks for example. It started off small. It started off with The Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt is an amazing film, but it did not meet the requirements at the box office. The budget was like around maybe $70 million, and it made like $200 and something million. Now that is a box office hit, but to DreamWorks, to their standards, it wasn't enough. It was not enough. But I don't know the box office, because this was a direct to you, you know. It was a DVD. It was only meant for DVDs. It did not make it into the theaters, because I totally understand marketing. It would have killed them. It would have killed the company. They would have gone bankrupt. So they got what they got, you know. So overall, The Princess and the Pea is an underrated masterpiece. This film is so good. This movie is worth your time. It's worth watching. Although The Princess and the Pea is a perfect example of you don't need to be a major studio company into creating a classic, Wow Now Entertainment is the perfect example of the opposite. While they focus on conveying a message down your throat instead of telling a compelling story, Finding Jesus is a perfect example of you being a small studio company and putting zero effort, zero passion and love into your project. And if you want to see that video, click the video on the screen. That'll be all for today, and always remember, Johnny K Studios, we're listening.